What's the one that I use? Hold on.
Alright, now we're live. Hello everyone. Welcome to
I use other ones, but
one of the last live streams that we will ever do.
Dice.
That's not true.
the blue one right there.
I can't read it. There's a number behind it.
It's just called Dice Roller, I think.
Yeah, that one works really well.
I like that one. I always get good rolls on that one.
Not always. So
That's
as I was
true.
saying, I kind of dropped a bombshell on them while you guys were talking. I said that we're gonna. This is one of the last live streams that we're gonna be doing.
Oh
Once we finish this campaign, we are going to switch to me editing it. I really enjoy editing. I've become kind of addicted to it. It's fun. It's tedious, but it's very fun. So I also thought adding music and adding things to it, like effect sounds, and making it more like of a real thing.
I'm
When
gonna
it's
try the red ones tonight.
okay, red it is. So yeah, and then we haven't
Unless I
quite
don't have
hashed out all the details, but Will here might be DMing. Mayhap, and we have some ideas. So stay tuned. Anyway, we're gonna jump right in tonight to the session because there's a lot to be done and little time to do whatever. I mean, really, D&D can drag on, especially the way we play. That's part of the fun. All right, so last time, if you all remember, it's been a bit. Last time we were in the throes of a battle with the slavers that you were currently hiding in.
Yes.
What is that sound?
That's what I'm hearing it too.
It's
Oh,
it's the baby monitor.
I'm like,
Guys.
we're all like,
There's something in the house.
No, we have children.
it's gonna be a good night
Oh,
already.
yeah.
Anyway, as I was
There's
saying,
the baby's sleeping in the next
So,
room.
they fought an earth
It was
elemental.
annoying. I could
That
turn it
was
off.
it's also was called a myrmidon, which is it's the style of
Myrmidon's
elemental.
my Tuesdays.
Myrmidon. It was crazy. It's wearing plate armor and it's made of rock. It was a fight. Anyway,
Right.
at the end of it,
They don't let me have any more.
there's a siege going on of the main capital. I think so too. They're starting to wake up. We might have a visitor. So the siege is going on of the main capital that they're trying to get into so they can assassinate this brotherhood of Yuan-Ti, which has been the whole thing of this entire campaign from episode 2, I believe, where they figured out that it was going on. And then his brother got killed, and it spurred this whole, like, I will kill every single one of them vengeance, and she's been trying to find her father, which she found out that he's in this city. So there's so many reasons to...
In this city?
Yeah.
I found out my father was in this city?
Yeah.
When did I find that out?
A while ago.
In this city?
Yeah. He was in the Yuan-Ti capital. That's what we talked about at the very...
And this is the Yuan-Ti capital?
Yeah. Long time ago.
I, for some reason, didn't put that
That's
together.
okay. No, it's all good.
I'm like, wait,
Connect the
what?
dots.
It's all good. So he's been in this. So she has a reason to get in. He has a reason to get in. Odeon is.
I thought we were just
accompanying
coming
them.
in. I thought that it was a different city.
No, there was two Yuan-Ti cities. Well, Yuan-Ti controlled cities of this empire. The rest of the cities in the empire are just kind of there. I mean, they just kind of fuel these cities. But El Jadra is the one that they were captured in, and they were slaves in until they escaped in
I
the
guess I
Underdark.
thought that's where he was.
Right. That one's just one that needs to be taken out, pretty much. But this is the main city.
Oh, that changes
The capital.
things. I thought we were just gonna go in and kill this one guy and like free the city and then.
I
Like, go on
thought you'd
to
be a
the
little bit
next.
more excited about it. Okay, that makes sense then.
Okay, no.
You're like, why are we going in there? Let's go somewhere else.
No, I
The
just,
siege doesn't matter. Let's move on. Anyway.
no, I didn't. put
No, it's
that
all
together.
good. No, it's all good. Anytime you have any questions about stuff, please let me know. Sometimes I'll just say stuff and you're like, what? Anyway.
I thought this was another thing you were revealing without. I was like, wait, I missed this. I didn't know this either.
Plot twist at the beginning of the episode.
I like to throw the hooks at the beginning just as well. Anyway, so here we are. The prince has brought us before the king, King Salazar, and you are told about how you can. My bag's still on my leg. That's uncomfortable. He was told that you can help him with this task that he's been put in charge of by the king. And you just saw the king. You haven't spoken to him yet. I don't believe you did. No, you did. And he said that, yeah, if you can help out with this task with his son. And they also revealed that there's this big beast that they're going to be sending with you called the Gray Render.
That's right.
And it looks like that Cloverfield monster you're going to talk about. Much smaller. Not like city leveling, but oh gosh, it would be useful if it did, though.
Yeah, we'll just let it do its
Just
thing. We'll
do
hang
your
out
thing.
here.
Okay, so what were we doing to help the
So
prince?
he said that there was a keep
We were taking
that you were
another-
going to be
okay.
taking. But you were interested in it because, as Odeon was just about to reveal, which he's now revealing to you, is that it's a. He said this keep is actually very important to them. It's a temple as well, so we may be able to glean some information about them if we go. Now, as far as getting in to the actual city, Salik said that there was some information on getting in, but we haven't talked to him yet. And we hadn't had a chance to. It was just immediate, like, all right, we saved you, and then they thought they were coming to save you from this group, or just fight this group. They saw them, but they found it was you. So, and that's where we are in the king's tent, just outside. He's meeting with his counselors at the moment. You can continue speaking with him, or you can do anything else. The game is yours, and let us begin.
I marched straight into the desert.
I love it.
I thought we had alcohol for
We should always keep him supplied in alcohol.
So the prince is there with us?
Yes, he's going to be leading you. You all agreed that this.
Didn't we go to? Didn't he like take us to a place where we could rest?
Yes.
And we just did our rest.
Yeah. So you're back outside
right.
the tent.
So this is after our rest.
Yes.
Okay.
Very clear. Yes. So I'm sorry. I should have mentioned that. You are all now full health. All of your abilities back.
Just
Oh,
crazy.
snap.
I wish that was like all it took was just sleeping.
Just go to
and then,
sleep.
like you're good.
Yeah.
Trust me, it was a peaceful sleep.
I think like in maybe our
Get
next
an
campaign.
8 hour of sleep and then you're like good.
Maybe in our
Everything's
next campaign
wrong.
we should do.
Right.
There's options in the DM manual that talks about how there's like a nitty gritty one where it's kind of like you can only heal with health potions. Because like, why would sleeping heal a chest wound?
Right.
Because it says that, but they said, but it's a game. But like, if you want to
Right.
add more like a gritty realism to
Uh-huh.
it, make it like it
Really
takes
slow down your
2
game.
weeks to like get to full health.
That would really slow down your game.
But that's what that said. It's like be prepared for very weary. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna go
More
over there.
mundane,
You go
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
But it makes it more real. But
Yeah.
I don't know if you'd want that.
Could be fun.
I think we could alter it to a point.
Probably get old pretty fast though.
maybe a full sleep could be like half health. I don't know. It could be considered a short rest with your like you roll your hit die or something. I don't know.
If you have like a broken leg, you like have to spend a month on one leg.
It's so terrible. Roll like you
Your
can only move
speed's
15
half.
feet at a time. God. Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
So we're in the camp, or
Yes. So the camp is quite large. It stretches out through the whole like from the bank where you were starting to come in, from the bank all the way. I mean, you passed where you could see just armor and people setting up, and occasionally you'll see a huge boulder being launched into the the
Right.
wall. But it's more like a slowly whittling down.
Is it like
their
early
defenses.
morning?
Yes, I would say about like 5 o'clock. Sun's up,
Alright.
but it's very,
Let's
very.
go.
Like...
What do we need? What are we doing?
let's do it.
Just kidding. I'm just
No.
That's how I wake up every day.
What's going on? Actually, that's pretty darn accurate. I'm like, what? Huh?
Let's get after it. Get some.
She just goes running. But what you said, you're already halfway there.
Come back. Wait, I don't remember. What are we doing?
Remind me again.
Wait, review.
We're trying to take this fortress.
Indeed.
Okay, sounds easy enough. Easy peasy. Let's do this.
Okay.
We're taking a monster and we're going after a keep,
Yes.
which is not in the main city.
Right. He can't.
It's outside the main city?
It's outside the main city. It's up on as the prince starts to
I'm
talk
sorry
to
if
you.
you told us already.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I have not told you everything.
For some reason, it's not like...
It's got a stick. We have to place ourselves in the setting.
No,
To get
no.
back into
We're
it.
kind of like getting the grooves until we're like,
Yeah.
I have to get out of this funny book that I'm listening to.
Right.
yeah, please, for the love, get out of it.
The book is good, but the narrator's so
I
bad.
hate that.
I'm like dying because the way she pronounces words is like the best. I'm like, there's diction, but then there's diction.
She's just too much.
It's like, okay.
I kept going down the hall. It's
Oh,
like,
No,
no.
it's like that. It's like not every
But-
tea is
but
supposed
as
to
a
be
valley
like,
girl.
Yeah.
like a valley girl.
But
It's-
sometimes,
Like from
sometimes
California?
not. It's I don't know.
It's bad.
It's like the guy that announces the NPR. So
It's
bad.
just like
KUST, mountain ranges in Logan, Utah. Like,
wow.
yeah.
Sorry,
Anyways.
I was just.
Tangents.
No, you're
Yes.
I'm sorry.
fine. No, you're fine.
Tangents.
Forests.
So as you're about to get close to the edge of the camp, where you see this great beast just laying down in the sand. Okay.
Sorry, I'm
Is
just
this
kidding.
gonna be a thing?
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I told you. I'm like practicing her voice because I think it's hilarious.
No, you're good.
I'll stop.
Good evening, Bruce. Sorry, you might have said that a while ago. Captain, Admiral, Lord.
He's been
Emperor.
He's been here for like 40 minutes. He's like,
Get on with it. We're just waiting for some people to hop on. Just kidding. We're going. All right. As you're ending, sorry, the great beast is laying in the sand, and you see
Kill
a
it now.
small battalion of soldiers. Not too like reassuring because it's like, what are we taking? We're taking a small keep. As they called it. It's their intel. They said it's a keep.
And Odeon says it's a temple.
Yeah, he says from my understanding it's less of a keep and more of a temple. So any way that we can stick it to them, we figured let's go do it. What they're trying to do
Let's do this.
is protect their flank, as the princess said. Prince has said. I didn't say princess said.
what it
Just
sounded
making
like.
sure
I was like, wait, that's
everyone
a princess
understands.
now?
He switches back and forth every day.
this is why I can't pay attention. Where are we?
He's just morphing in front of you.
Who am I?
One minute he's wearing like a pink crown, and then the next.
Where's my alcohol? I don't know what's happening.
So the gray render isn't exactly like moving right now. It's a lump. It just looks like another sand dune. But there's a small battalion of about 15 men. I'm sorry, a section of a battalion. It's not even like a full group
That's
of people.
all that we're
That's
taking.
what he's sending with
So
you.
they're just-
But this thing's huge that they're sending with.
Because you're so loud.
She was gonna wake up anyway.
Yeah.
She wakes up every night. Blah blah blah. But she'll be joining us tonight, so some nights she isn't, some nights she is. She might not. Who knows if she can get her down. But yeah, I was really like looking into these beasts, and I was like, that's actually like a really cool.
The gray
Yeah, it
dwarfs.
like your character won't know this. It's not like you can use this information against me. But it like imprints on people.
Oh, that's right. You told us about that.
Yeah, because you rolled like a really high like.
Yeah.
Yes, I've read about this once. But like it's a very interesting beast, and it like pieces fall off it and become like a living creature. It's not like motherly, so it'll leave it, but that thing will like latch onto someone else. It'll just be like, I want to be part of whatever you're doing.
Let's be friends until I die.
They're not totally like behaved though, and they're not like
So
Like
they're
a dog,
They're
but-
somewhat chaotic,
yeah, definitely. I believe they were actually literally.
like a chaotic neutral, or
Oh, the Demogorgon. I love it. And then that came out. Gosh, here's all the gods. Or sorry, I shouldn't say gods. The devils. This book, by the way, Morden Canyon Tome of Foes. So cool. Gray Render. Yeah, that's the thing he fought. Earth Elemental Myrmidon. Myrmidon. That's a weird thing. Anyway, sick things. Yeah, this book was like a lot more like creepy and gross. I mean, look at this. It's just like it looks like a normal the Oblex. They're like these oozes that are like they take forms of people, and then when people get close to them, they like eat them and then make another. It's like the Thing almost. It's really creepy.
Or like Ditto meets the Blob.
Yeah. How's she doing?
Pokemon horror.
She was just sad. All right. Okay.
Really sad.
So, who's in charge?
That would be the
of
prince.
this? So the prince is coming with us,
He is.
and is he the person who's directing this beast?
He's not. He has a wizard that's been handling it. You
Wizard
couldn't
slash
see.
beast trainer.
Yeah, kind of. His
So they're
name
pretty confident
that this thing
in
is
their
going to help
intel.
them. Yeah. That this thing could.
And is it
handle
like a
with this one.
demon?
No, it's how would I describe it?
Is it your dad?
It's just a monstrosity, just like a big beast.
Oh,
Hey, she's like, oh, it's him again.
it's been a couple weeks, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it has been. Let's see. Would it be under G or R?
Right. Would it be under gray?
Could be. Could be. Is it in this book? There it is. Yeah. It is a large monstrosity. It's just a monster. And it's that.
It's
Monster. So a large monstrosity, are those like 20 feet high?
So in correlation to you, so there's
Because we're
tiny,
medium,
small.
right?
Sorry, there's like tiny, small, medium, and then there's large. So this one would be, if it's standing full length, you're up to like its belly button.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, I would say at full size, it could be almost considered huge, but they say classify it as large.
Okay.
But it's definitely chaotic. But its hide as you get closer to it looks like it's made of like rhino or like an elephant. It's like very thick and like
Somebody made this monster out of rhino.
it's just very like if you were to like
Yeah.
shoot it with an arrow, you'd have to get like a direct hit, like to get any damage.
No
Okay,
glancing
well
blows.
then let's get the show on the road. I'm assuming we have everything we need.
Assume away.
Is this
yeah,
half
they're all prepared.
battalion prepared? They're
Oh
ready
yeah,
to go?
they are. They look like hardened
And
soldiers.
we still have rations and what we need because we have what we got from.
Mm-hmm.
Back from our boat.
Well, yeah, that's true. We got that stuff back.
Uh,
But from what we.
Oh
took
yeah,
from
you
the
are
slavers,
all
remember?
you are all set for what they need. You know, they just want to quick get in, finish
Yeah.
this thing off, so nothing comes from behind.
an
How far is it
assassination.
from the city?
This
Or where we are
is
as a city?
from what the prince tells you. He says, "Well, it's not terribly far. It's up a rocky hill. There's a plateau almost area up at the top, and they have this temple. But they, as Odeon calls it, but from my understanding is that it's also someone's home. It's like an important person's home. So
Outside
if
of
we
the
can
city.
capture somebody and get some information is what I would like to do. My father would insist that we kill everyone, and these soldiers are set to do so. But
Why would
Kill
they?
everyone.
Why would they put their temple
Capture
outside
this
their
guy.
city?
one of their temples.
Get
It
information.
probably was. It was probably built long ago
And we're done.
before the city was even made.
This is like the Luke Skywalker island thing, where they've got these random huts that have been there for
except
millennia.
really high up. Yeah, but in that
It's on a
mindset.
cliff.
Yeah, it's pretty close to a cliff.
Hey, they were on cliffs in that movie too.
Yeah.
Dang it,
For
they're
some
under
reason,
me.
this is what I'm visualizing. Huh? It's,
Now it's what I'm visualizing.
So they So the gray render gets kicked into gear and starts standing up, and it just kind of like the ground moves as it moves. It just makes this weird alien type sound, this foreign sound that you've never heard before.
Does it sound like a dinosaur?
It's half like a purr mixed with a.
It's half what?
It's
Like a
almost
purr.
like a purr mixed with like this roar.
Oh, the
But
sound.
it's like this gargling.
I was like, is this an animal?
You're like, a purr? What's a purr? I think you mean cat.
that's kind of what I was
There's a
thinking.
purr coming towards you. Oh look, a ruff.
You've been spending too much time with your kids.
Probably.
Too much time.
Yes. No.
It pickles the brain.
So
Every second of every day.
a
You're saying
purr
that's too
slash
much?
roar.
So it stands up and then
Thank you,
shakes, and then looks over to who you've learned his name is Taganeth. He's their wizard. He's blue
And
robed.
what's the prince's name?
His name is Rathas.
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 Who's Ivor, the red mage?
He's dead.
Is that
We
who he
killed
was?
him.
Is that who he was?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Dead.
Dead.
What was the name of the wizard again?
Tag Nath. Taganath.
Okay.
Alright, so
Rathas?
Rathas.
Rathas.
R
Oh,
A
I
T H
spelled it
A
right.
S. Good job.
Ow.
So, Kalali seems very nervous though. Like she's looking at this
Oh,
thing,
that's
just
right.
like I don't
that
want to
she's
be
with
near that
us.
thing.
She should totally write it.
The best way to conquer your fears is to ride your fears. You run into the temple and jump on some Yanti.
Nina says that's not a good idea.
Okay, well she says so.
Mm.
Now that you're heading out of the camps and heading up this large rocky face, it's got this like winding path, but it's very thin. Think like Greek monasteries, you know, like at the top where they have those like winding paths going all the way up, and then they've got their,
Pilgrimage.
you know what I mean? You were there.
I played Skyrim.
That too. And exactly, it's not that high though.
Yeah.
But long off, you see, after you reach the top of this, it seems like a mirage at first, and it kind of is because of the haze and the heat. By the way, you are all going through like water skins like crazy, just drinking them as you're going because it's just boiling your armor. But you look over and you just see these palm trees and bushes and like gardens as far as you can see as soon as you get to the top. And there's some fortifications, some walls, but it's more for show
So
unless
there's no guards on the walls?
there's, from what you see, it's a long way off.
I feel like this is too easy, that there's something weird. So can I like look around and see if there's like hidden people?
Yes,
Or like,
you can look for hidden people.
like hidden things outside?
Yeah, like a place
I'm
where they
checking
could
for
set up an
traps.
ambush. Right, I get what you're saying.
It's a mirage.
19.
Well dead.
You're right. This isn't a place at all. This is a cliff. Sure enough, you see little outcroppings that you think there could be people setting up. That's what you would do. He thinks so too, the prince, and is pointing out some archers that are kind of moving around the side, very, very stealthily. They're not heavily clad like the rest of the other ones. They look more like a bunch of rangers, like a group of rangers set together. You notice their tactics because it's kind of the way you used to roll before you started being a warlock.
Before I started blowing stuff up.
Yeah, before you realized
Before
the
you
true
made your
power.
pact with the demon. So
Demon pacts. What are you gonna do?
Well, technically, I made the pact with the faceless one,
It's true.
who
like I said, it just
may or may not be a demon.
Who's
We
kind
don't
of
know.
like a fallen angel.
Yeah.
He's basically Satan. But I mean, besides that, he's like a Loki.
Satan's an angel.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so he points out over there to the rocks, and you're looking as well. They look behind it, and sure enough, there's nothing. It's just just seems totally dead up here.
There's nothing.
Nothing. No
Nothing.
baddies.
There's nothing.
You're walking now that you've reached. I should say street, because at this point it's stopped being like a dirt road and turned into like more of a cobbled road.
So it's more rocky now.
Yeah, it's
more rocky.
a lot easier to tread than what you were dealing with, like jagged rocks before, and it's beautiful. It seems almost like in this haze. It's just this beautiful.
So we're not up to the fortress
place.
yet.
No, you're on the
We're
cobbled stone streets that are headed towards it. Street, I should say. It's just one long path of palm trees, and now you're reaching a fountain area, and there's just like crystal water, and someone with a lot of money takes care of this place. You know, he
And
probably
it looks
has
like
servants.
it's well kept up.
Oh, definitely. Like,
so it doesn't look like it's been abandoned.
no, definitely not. It's in working order. Someone was there this morning pruning bushes. I mean, you can see like a little bit of leaves on these little like desert plants that they've got set up here. It seems almost a waste of water, but they must be honoring something, and I believe it's sacred, because using water to this extent seems wasteful in the harsh desert surrounding this plateau.
Yeah.
You can see the city below to your right, and it's pretty far down. It didn't
City
take
as
it took
in
you about
Maneba?
it took you about 2 hours. You can see
Is
Maneba.
it ba or
It's a B sound.
b? Maneba.
Maneba. And down below, you just see like the siege, and there's some fires in the city, but they get put out pretty quick. But it's still going on down below. But up here is just calm and serene. And did I mention it's beautiful? I mean,
Yes.
it's over the top. And now as you get closer, it's not just fountains, statues in the street. Fountains, bushes, and like the street. There's statues now, ornate and well crafted, as if living. They're like of different like heroes, possibly of the past. They depict soldiers like fighting in different poses, and
Are they? They make me think of like the angel statues. Like, do they seem?
yeah. Roll perception to see how much they remind you of it.
19.
A lot reminding you of it. And
And
it's pretty much the same. They look that good. They look almost as if living.
so we're near the statues.
Mm-hmm.
Can I go up to one? What's the one? Oh. What are like the first ones as we like come up to? What do they look like?
One looks almost like an Achilles type character. He's got this large round shield. He's got a spear overhead. He's looking to the side like this, and he looks like he's like this fierce warrior.
Okay.
And he's got this big helm with the feather plumes and everything.
So that's like on like this side, or this side. I'm guessing
Left or right?
Yeah.
This is the right one.
Okay. And so they're like lined up. So how many are
Lined
there?
up. There's about 12 they're spaced out
So
pretty
there's like
far.
6.
Like every 60 feet there'll be a new
So
one.
there's like 6 on each side.
Mhm.
Okay, so if the Achilles looking one is over here, what's the one that's over here?
The one on the left is a woman. It looks like it's how can I describe her? She seems as if like she's afraid, like just the expression on her face. But she has kind of like this look in her eye of I've got this. It's very similar to like it looks so real the way the sculptor was able to put this detail into somebody. But he also she is holding like a satchel. She's got like all this gear, so she looked like this person was putting this detail into somebody. It wasn't just a depiction of a hero. It looks like someone was standing there, but a statue.
Have we passed them yet?
No.
We've come up to them.
You've come up to them. All the soldiers are looking at them, looking around, looking to the sides. They're basically in this formation where the archers are all on the outside, and they're pointing, and then they've got soldiers right behind them, and they're just moving along down this way. Right down in the path. By the way, the street is as wide as our house. Like it's a pretty big
So
street.
I feel like with like the angel statues, well, angels, because that's what they were.
Uh-huh.
We went and we like touched them, and then we had like their thoughts or whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
So what if we did that just to see? Because I kind of feel like.
Yeah.
So I'm
give
gonna
it a
go and over to the Achilles one because like a spear and stuff. I'm like, I know, but the girl, I'm like, I don't know what's in her satchel. So I go over and I'm just gonna lay.
What's in her satchel?
What do I notice? Do I notice any like writing or any like
There's no
magical
writing.
feelings or
Roll Arcana and see if you feel anything magical from it.
17.
You don't feel anything like particularly magic about it, but maybe it was made with magic,
Okay, well then I touch this.
and immediately you see you're gone. Like you're not where you're standing, but your eyes are watching through this soldier's eyes, and there is a woman running through some trees, and he's giving chase. You could like feel the breath coming out of him. It's like a very swampy area. He's running, and then it shows like the next portion of his journey, and the woman is running up this hill, very similar to the one you just came to, that you just climbed.
Does the woman look like the woman in the statue?
No.
Okay.
Looks hooded. Looks like she's afraid the way she's stumbling and running
Like
from
I
this.
said, does she look like
From the soldier, and he gets to the top, and he's standing there like this in the same pose that he was in, and then you see like this bright white light, and then that's it, and then you're back in your body.
Okay.
So last time we found all these statues, it was in Kuzbek's tomb.
Mm-hmm. So I tell Weirin and Odeon quietly that I believe that these aren't really statues, that they're really, fighters and stuff that were, calcified like the angels. And that even though the angels didn't come back to life and stuff, that these could.
Yeah.
So I have to get something else
There's Odeon,
for her.
although he's only level 7.
Yeah,
I've
but
changed
Come-
his numbers.
Come on,
I just-
Odeon. Come on.
Get with it. All right.
What are you
So-
doing?
How do you react to what she just said?
I'm thinking that there's likely some similarity between that other tomb and this one.
This is a tomb?
Well, it's a
Temple.
temple.
And the other one
The
That
other
was a
one
buried
was
temple.
yeah.
That's true. Okay.
Did we discover if Kuzbek was responsible for the angels
Never did. No.
being petrified?
What are you doing? Here. You want to open it? This is how we open it.
My thought is there's probably something pretty dangerous hanging out. I mean, if they can just leave it unguarded and just say whatever on something that's clearly so precious,
I don't think that these
well, there's something dangerous
These-
around.
people, if that's what they are, necessarily were willing to,
These statues?
well, be like they didn't be like, I will protect you and blah blah blah. Like they were like against their.
Yeah.
They were surprised.
Yeah.
Surprise!
Shy surprise.
Oh man, I need to watch that again.
Me too. Remember how many times we used to watch that?
Gosh, all the
Over and over
time.
again. Oh my gosh, that was
Actual
hilarious.
cannibal Shia LaBeouf. If you haven't seen it,
And there's actually
Take some
a
time.
character.
yeah, someone made a D&D character,
Oh,
like
that's
a
funny.
villain, actual
Based
cannibal Shia
on
LaBeouf.
the
We
Yeah.
have to run a one-off of where
With
we're
the
running through the
monster
woods from
LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
Oh gosh, okay, we're gonna have to look that up before we go to bed.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so a lot of the men are kind of overhearing what you're saying because you're not like whispering. You're being
Yes, we
quiet.
were. I just
You're being
said
quiet,
I was whispering.
but it's dead silent up here, so it carried.
I'm an elf. I can whisper very quietly and not let anyone hear me. That's my ability. Right here somewhere.
Even so, you're still around a bunch of people, and couple of the men heard you, and so
No.
um,
I call bull. Just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, I'm just kidding. I can roll the dice too.
you didn't beat the 14, so if that's what you're trying to do,
I don't know what it was.
it'd be a stealth check. But anyway, a couple of the men hear you, and they start getting a little nervous, and they look at each other. Okay, maybe they don't. Like, are you okay? They seem like
You're the DM. You better stick to your guns if you're gonna make.
I'm trying to. All right, so they're getting a little nervous. They look at each other and they start kind of whispering back to each other. It's like, what do they mean by that? I don't know what he means. What she means by that, but these can't be people. They're stone.
You
And
guys just saw. I turn to them and I say, "You guys just saw a beast materialize out of the air, and you think that this is impossible?" Like,
and then the rest hear that, and the prince comes up. He says, "What do you know? We need every bit of information. You've been in these lands longer than we have."
so I just tell them we've seen statues like this before. They're not really statues. They're people that were blah 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 blah. And I'm just like,
So he
they,
goes
they
up-
could.
So he goes
Become
up
a
and
problem.
touches that same soldier.
Montage of explaining.
Yeah. And he goes up and touches that soldier just like you explained. And he feels and sees the exact same thing. And he comes out
And
of
then
this
we
trance.
lost people.
So he comes out of this trance and he says,
And it was
"Yeah,
horrible.
I see what you mean." He says, "Men, be very
Horrible.
careful." And they continue forward, and the wizard is muttering something to himself under his lips. He's
Under
pulling,
his lips.
yeah, under his lips, which is like his beard. It's just coming out of his beard. It's the all sound comes through beards. I
I'm
don't
sorry.
know if you know
I'm being,
that.
I'm being
Sassy.
today.
You're being sassy.
I'm sorry.
All right. So I'm just trying to pay attention to my own.
I was around my
thoughts.
sisters today, so.
That'll do it. All right. So I don't remember what I was talking about.
I'm sorry.
We're playing
The
D&D,
wizard.
You were
right?
talking about the bearded
The wizard.
wizards
No, it's
muttering
okay.
under,
Yeah, okay. He's,
under his
he's,
lips.
He's under his lips, whispering to himself. He's pulling out things from his bag, and he looks like he's crumbling something together, and it's like arcane energy starts to
Mary
come out of it.
Poppins.
He has a little bag of
Pulling
things,
stuff out of us.
and he's able to
Listen.
search out, but he's not. There's like almost like a field. He says. Near the temple where he can't look in and see what's going on.
He's trying to scry
He's
in.
trying to find information on the inside and he can't see anything. But that's all he's able to do at this point.
Okay. Well, I pull out my sword.
And charge straight in.
No, I'm just gonna walk forward.
Okay, so you start moving forward and the rest begin to like get
My
this
sword's
like
right here on my hip, not my butt, but I can.
yeah, I gotcha.
She's right here.
So she moves. She
Got
starts
her leg.
moving forward. As Alara moves forward, the rest of the men see her moving and decide to continue. Almost like let's let her go first type thing.
If anybody's gonna die, it's gonna be her.
Right. It's not so much that as like
Today.
it's almost like she's a scout and they're using that information. They respect formations, so they're moving along with it because they're trained soldiers. Is the best way I can describe it.
Okay, so you said they're like 60 feet or so
Between.
between? Okay. I'm just like afraid that once we get to the end, that's when they're really like lock us in or something. So what do they look like as I'm walking? Like
They look very different, and you'd think if you're gonna design your place, you
See,
would
and
have
that's why
the
I was
same
Right.
same theme, right? It's like, oh, they're all from our people. They're not. There's some that look like knights. Definitely one is a king for sure. He has like an old-fashioned crown, and it looks like something you'd see in like a storybook from a long time ago.
It's the idiots who
Um,
decided to come up here.
It seems so.
okay, so I want to see what he.
The king.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you touch the king,
I should just be going like this.
learning all the information you can from him.
You
Fourth
should
one you
be.
fall over
As
dead.
you touch the king's foot, you hear him speaking to someone, but it's like old speech. It's like these, thys, and thous. he's very articulate, and he's speaking to his wife, and she's telling him, "Don't go, don't go," and some woman, it looks like some kind of advisor of his, is telling him, we don't need to worry. I've been here lots of times before.
A hood?
She's also wearing a hood.
Is
She
this her
says-
voice? I didn't
It's
hear
the
her
first time you've
voice.
heard her voice. It's like a very soothing, calm tone. She seems young.
Is it a voice that I
Probably around
recognize?
like a teenager sounding.
Does it sound like Shadia's voice?
No.
Does it sound
That's a good
like?
question, though.
Does it sound?
No.
See a snake. I don't want to watch
It's
it on
weird that
anything.
you went there because I was thinking the same
sorry.
thing.
Sultry.
So tree. No, it's very like a calming, but it's not like I'm casting a spell. It's like a young woman telling this king, "There's nothing to worry about. I've been there lots of times," and
Now, of
he
course you have,
says,
because you're working for
and
the
then
other side.
he says to his wife, "I have to find a cure," and then the next thing you see is them walking up this hill, and they reach the steps, and then she turns and there's a white light.
She turns. Okay, and the other memory that I saw, she turned to. It's the slime person.
It's basilisk again.
It's a basilisk.
We fought one before.
In the arena.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's trying to eat the
It
book,
turned
guys.
people into stone.
She's trying to eat her hand.
So how similar are these? I mean, do they trigger memories of what I'd seen the basilisk turn into stone?
The basilisk was very much the same,
Mm-hmm.
in that they looked lifelike in movement, like as if a master sculptor perfected
Uh-huh.
the human body or
Okay.
humanoid body.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a king, there's
A dude, soldier.
There's, I can list them off. All right, so also there's like a druid-looking person.
So as
there's
we-
a mage.
as we've gone, does it seem like we're going back in time with the people?
Yes.
Okay. So the first two were like more recent.
Mm-hmm.
Like were like in like our
Yep, and another one on the left side was like a knight.
do I maybe recognize anything from like history?
Roll a history check. No,
Hold on, no. Wait.
but you have advantage on history because you're Eldari.
Yeah. That's better. I was like, I remember.
Eldari
this.
is a guild, and it's like one of the
17
oldest
plus
guilds.
5.
Okay, yes. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. Is that a couple of them come out of books themselves? There's an old. The king himself, you recognize him as like a depiction of him, I guess, like you've seen it in a painting, is King Deothus, and he's this like really famous, like a William the Conqueror, but a lot less murdery. Basically, he was very like chivalrous, but he was uniting what we would consider Europe. He united like much of the northern areas long before the empire, long before any kingdom. He was just, there were so many little kingdoms and they were all fighting over land, and he just was like, I'm done with this. Let's just conquer all of it and then just cut it out. And he did, and it worked, and they reigned for like almost 200 years, and he found a ring of longevity and was just like, he reigned through all that time. His wife got sick and he disappeared. So he was looking for like a fountain of youth type thing. His ring didn't work on her. She was cursed by some hag, as it tends to be.
Oh, those hags.
Those old stories and them hags.
Okay.
There's always 3 of them.
All right.
Watch out.
Anything else I recognize maybe from history?
No, they're too obscure. But that one was the most famous. If you were like a natural 20, maybe one other, but nothing like
Oh, okay.
nothing. They just look like
Right.
people from different
So I
ages.
say yes.
Hey, I know
He's
him.
all
He's
real
cousin
person.
Stanley.
That guy right there.
These are real people. Well, they were. They're not alive anymore, I don't think. but they could be.
You
because
still
they're
have magical
memories.
memories of some
Yeah.
kind.
So yeah.
You should try breaking one. They were supposed to die hundreds of years ago, anyways.
Okay.
That's up to you guys.
That's
You're
I'm,
chaotic neutral now.
do what you need to do. I
Fine.
guess. I'm just
I
gonna
guess I probably would.
kind of get away, but like be at the ready just in case
Pull out my
something
demon
happens.
longsword and take a swing at a random one.
Okay, so there's this druid statue, and you just, it's set on a pedestal, so you have to kind of like jump up to like swipe at it.
Mm-hmm.
You swipe at the chest section, and it's stone. And it just cuts into it, and it's
Nothing.
just stone.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
But
Satisfied that curiosity.
but you feel a glimpse of like a memory, but nothing concrete.
Was
Did
it
you
le-
feel, like,
was it
pain?
something like I'm being stabbed in the chest?
Awful. You're such a jerk.
Ah! No, I have to have this for eternity.
Now I always have a gaping wound
Thank you.
because this wasn't bad enough. I have to
Um,
stare at King Deothus back all year.
So they're lined up like that, like facing forward. I was imagining them.
No,
facing the
they're
pathway.
facing the road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I was imagining this really different. Okay.
They're just
All right.
facing a line.
So are we to the end of the line?
Yes, and as you get closer to the temple,
I'm ready
you're not.
for
You're,
anything.
the cobblestones
So
are no
I'm sorry.
longer cobblestones, and what you haven't noticed before is that the cobblestones used to be faced this way, and now they're faced this way. They're stone heads, and they're facing upwards. They're
Ooh.
faces,
Like real like skulls.
frozen people's heads.
Wow.
And the whole all the cobblestones you've been walking on, you start to realize that slowly as you got closer, they begin to turn. So some of them were ears, and then now it's all faces.
That's
It was like a
gross.
sick joke as you got
Are they
closer.
like squishy faces?
No, they're all stone.
Oh,
Very,
okay.
very hard stone.
So this is where Medusa lives.
Something.
I'm guessing it's a Medusa.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a thing?
Well, and like, her name was Medusa, but she's a Gorgon.
That's
And
right.
back
That's
in
a
the
thing. Is that
Gorgon in the book is a bull, which is upsetting. Yeah, it's like, oh, Gorgon.
But
I'm like,
Gorgons
awesome.
can
That's a bull. That's straight up a
Gorgons-
metal bull.
can Gorgons turn things to stone? Is that?
like Medusa
Yeah.
style. Yeah,
I can't remember what the mythology is.
I believe the Medusa was the name of the woman cursed by
Athena.
Aphrodite or Athena. I don't remember.
It was Athena.
They're always cursing everyone
pretty
else.
sure
You're
it
prettier
was
than me.
I'm
Now
pretty
you're cursed. It's
I'm
like,
pretty sure it was Athena, but it could
Thanks.
have been Aphrodite.
someone makes an offhand
I'm
joke.
pretty
You're
sure
prettier
it was
than
Athena
Right.
And
because
it's like,
in
yeah, why? Gods
Anyway.
kind of suck in stories.
It's like Clash of the Titans. More beautiful than Aphrodite. Oh, now you gotta sacrifice her.
Throw her out to the Kraken. How dare you mention it? Not the guy,
Right.
the woman.
Yeah.
He's fine. He's just watching back there. Crap, I should really not say anything.
okay.
Some king you are.
All right. Do I know anything about Gorgons?
Roll history if you know anything about Gorgons. You believe it's some kind of animal.
10. Like it's
You're just
some
kind of thinking there's some kind of beast.
Something.
Something.
Hoofs, horn, metal. I
I
can't
guess
quite.
something. Something horrible. Ugly, I'm sure.
I
Smells.
guess I'll roll history to see.
And some of the men are losing their minds.
We only had
Okay.
15.
They did just great. Half
okay.
did 16, half
They're
did
not
18.
using
So
their minds. That's good.
they're very afraid, but not like to the point where they're rolling disadvantages afraid.
So I'm wondering if I can remember anything that turns creatures into stone aside
Okay.
from.
So roll history
I
on
roll
beasts.
16.
16.
Yeah.
You do know of the basilisk, very familiar.
Mm-hmm.
But there's
First-hand experience.
there's spells from wizards that can do things like this. But there is a creature called a Medusa,
Oh,
which is upsetting.
you're all like, that's no.
Because you asked about a Gorgon.
No, I said about a Medusa, and you said that's the name of the thing.
Yeah. Well, in this case, it's a Medusa.
I said Medusa.
But it's a race.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay. All right. So anyway, you believe
You don't write the
that
books, you
there
just use
there
them.
are two real things that could do this, and you believe that either a basilisk or a Medusa. But based off of this layer, you're guessing it's not a basilisk, which is like a beast that just roams around. This is a different kind of beast. When you saw the images of like a woman and things like that, it kind of like tipped you off to it's not a
That's
basilisk.
why I said Medusa. Not knowing that was a race in the book, but I said Medusa.
Gosh, I wish it wasn't. There's a literal. Okay, anyway, let's go on. Moving on. All right, so
I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm sorry.
you believe that there's something here that can turn people into stone? Because why in the world would someone do this? Some sadistic.
Would I
Sculptor.
know?
Man, it took me a while to find the word sculptor. I was just like,
Sculptor.
my brain, it's melting.
The dude with the thing who does the stuff. Would I know if a Medusa could be blinded?
I would say most anything could be blinded, so you wouldn't
Okay.
really need to roll for that.
Okay.
If it has eyes.
Well, I mean, some creatures don't get affected by certain things.
Right. As you get closer, though, as you're all walking up, like, you see depictions of,
Great, because I have a blinding arrow.
in this temple, it is of snakes. It's definitely of snakes all around, just like every
Okay.
temple that you've been a part of that had Yanti in it.
Does anybody have a melt stone spell?
I have a
Odeon looks
bursting
over and
arrow.
says, and he like crackles his hand. He almost like uses the spell. And he's like, "Do you remember Shatter?" He's like, "The problem is that if any of us turn into stone, it will do so much more damage on us."
Yeah.
From a totally theoretical standpoint.
Yeah, just do it right out the gate before whatever it is
So what
appears.
does the fortress look like? The temple.
Very square, but it kind of leans in a little bit to where it goes to the top, and it levels
Trapezoidal?
out. Yeah. It's very trapezoidal.
Right.
I just decided to mess up your word even more. Trapezoidal.
It's like,
It's a trapezoid, you jerk. People in the comments.
right.
You know, 10 years from now when people
How-
watch this.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Or we'll all be dead and aliens will
Right.
have taken over.
Like this?
Yeah, where it kind of like slopes up a bit, but imagine like it goes up like this a little bit. Like that. It's not straight up. It's just
Okay.
kind of like that. And it's huge. It's quite large.
Okay.
All right, so as you get closer, Prince Arathis does some hand signals and starts pointing, and a few of his men go running up like shield knights. The big, heavy armored guys go up front and start moving forward a little bit.
We should probably tell him this creature.
I think it might be important
I think I'm gonna
before all of
I'm
them
gonna
are just like
disclose
a
this
stone
information
wall. Oh, good. Now we can't get in. But she can't get out.
Right. I guess we're done here.
If that is indeed what it is.
Right.
We are thinking this is a Medusa.
Clearly, this has something to do with stone, and
A woman?
Everything says when you look at its eyes, you die.
And the prince and a few of the men turn around to, like, what? I mean, lifelike, and this is bizarre. He's pointing at the ground and all the stone faces.
Yeah, they all looked at it.
Oh yeah, they definitely saw. And he says, well, in that case, men, tear your cloaks. I want you to blindfold yourselves. And they all just look at each other like, what? Are you crazy?
Hope you can fight in the dark.
Everyone's rolling disadvantage, but they won't be stone.
Yeah.
If this is some creature that can turn them to stone by looking, then we can always take them off.
Yeah.
You don't get a second chance. That's basically what he describes to them, and they comply, and everyone in the front starts doing that. The archers, he doesn't. He tells them to stay back and fire from afar and
Don't shoot us.
do your best. Yeah, don't shoot in the dark. That's not going to do any good. Shoot that way. All right.
Okay.
Shoot away from the sound of my voice.
As you're getting closer, like now you're like up to the steps going up to that front area. It's not you're not quite in. You notice like footsteps of two men, like man-sized footsteps, like that had been here just recently, like in the dust of like the floor of like the marble.
Is it like torch lit, or is it like
Yeah, it's already
they've got
all lit.
windows,
But
so
it's
it's
still
day
morning.
lit, or
It's still like I would
Daytime.
say late morning, like 10, 11.
Okay.
Okay. So it's pretty bright in there.
Yeah, the whole like as you're looking in, as you're stepping in, this front area looks pretty dark, but just around the corners of the front area. So let me describe this better. Okay, so going up the steps, there's a big archway, and as you get in, you are met immediately with this huge wall with this just ornate with like this history, and to your right and to your left are short hallways. But you can see light, like natural light coming from this area, and they both go inward. So it looks like there's just this big wall standing in between. It's like a symbol of like, you can't read what's being said, but it looks as if they're just saying like the world stops here, and then eternity comes from here. Sort of thing.
Okay.
But how are we proceeding? Would you like to
Um,
tell the prince, or would you like him to do it? Because he's got tactics.
Okay, I'm gonna put my sword away and I take out my bow because I'm gonna get ready to do a shadow arrow if I need to.
Okay, so you're readying in action.
Yes, which the blinds target with shadows.
Ooh, interesting.
I used it once before, but it wasn't very effective because I didn't. I
And
thought
if
it
it's-
said bind.
and if it's bind.
Take that.
And I was like, ow. I don't remember what I used it for. I think it was like with Kuzbek or something. I don't remember.
All right. So,
Let's see how long she'll let us play.
yeah, have a little bit. Have a little bit more, huh? Little girl. She just wants to play.
Okay.
You're rolling mom's dice. She's like, ooh, player's handbook.
Are you gonna read?
She's like, what can I take?
Here.
All right.
Read your book
So
about
how are we
bees.
proceeding? Have you decided? So
That's
she's
not my
readying
thing.
an arrow. Do you just want them to move in tactic-wise, and you guys deal with the aftermath, or what are you guys planning on doing?
Kind of observed from afar, sacrifice some pawns, see what we're up against.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So
Yeah, sure.
We really have no idea.
okay.
Yeah.
So some soldiers start heading right.
We'll
some
just
soldiers start
we'll,
heading
we'll
left.
have
Where are you
them
going?
scout for us.
Okay.
So
In the
tell
meantime, we're looking for like.
them to be
movement.
stealthy. Yeah.
So the prince is staying back with you. He's moving in with his men, but he's moving in with you. He knows you survived the Underdark. His men are very well trained, but there's some of the Jaburian knights like finest. But you guys have been in the Underdark and survived a lot, so he's sticking with you. So are you heading left or right?
We'll go in behind wherever they're going in, but behind.
Okay, they're going right and left.
Oh.
So
Splitting up?
they're just it's not they're their one path is going right. So I said like 15, right? Yeah, I think I said 15.
Something
50.
like that.
No, you said 5,000. Get her!
Wait a
You said
second.
15.
I did.
And they're all wizards.
And they're all
Yeah, what's the wizard doing with the monster?
monster can't get in
So it's useless.
because it's too thin
Can we
of a
draw this
passage.
thing out?
I don't know if she'll come out. Because in the memories that I saw, was it daytime or nighttime?
Both.
Oh, okay.
There's one kind of dusk, like nighttime, and then there's one more like midday.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't matter what time of the day.
And they weren't inside this place, were they?
Nope.
So it would come out, whatever it is. If yeah,
Okay. Okay.
assuming something is in there.
Maybe we go. Can we go around the temple, or is it?
Yeah, you can search for other entrances if you want. They're moving in right now, but you guys
Okay.
can do whatever you
I think
want.
we should just hang out back for a little bit and see
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah.
Like there's no sound after they go around the corner. No. All right. So whether right or left, you find
It's right, did I
yourselves
startle you?
into large pillars, like a large pillared room, and it's all set in like a very circular. I would say it's almost like a kiva in that sense. It goes downward a little bit and then it's flat and then goes up on every side. It
Like
seems
an amphitheater.
like an amphitheater. Not really like steps, just kind of like it slopes. With like
Okay. Okay.
you get what I'm saying.
What's in the center?
In the center, there are symbols on the floor. Like you can't see them.
Is it like a big space in the center or a small space?
It's quite large. In the center, there's one symbol, but then like on the outside, there's just a few different.
There's not like an altar or
No.
A tomb.
a throne, sarcophagus. Same thing as a tomb, basically. Well, no, tomb house. Is
Well,
a
what you see is that
sarcophagus.
there's four symbols on the outside, and then there's one large symbol in the
Are they the
center.
same?
No, they look all different, but you can't see what they are from where you're at.
Okay. And we're going down into
But there's
this?
pillars all the way around, and then
are we
in the
walking
center
around this?
is open.
Are we walking around this or going down into it?
Whatever you want to
So
do.
there's
They're
ways
moving.
that we can walk around it?
Yeah, the men have met back up, and they're kind of like doing that same like half circle, like moving forward.
They're
Everyone
not
just like
going
looking
down
around.
in there. They're going around
They're
it.
going down in.
Oh, that's stupid.
Not like just let's go in, but they're like moving up to the center, but they're not going to the center.
Hop, 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 hop,
Yeah.
hop, hop. It's marching straight to the middle.
And the archers are moving around the sides.
Uh huh.
You know, like on either side, there's about 10 archers.
Anything
of the,
on top of the pillars?
Mhm.
Anything on top of the pillars?
No, they go to the ceiling.
Oh.
They're like holding up the
For some
ceiling.
reason, I'm imagining it being outside, like a courtyard.
No, the center is open,
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
so that's where the sunlight's coming from. In these, though, now that you're kind of getting a good look, by some of the pillars, there's some crushed stone, half people, different sizes and shapes. So looks like some had made it in, and then nothing happened. Like they didn't succeed, whatever they were trying to
So, are there like other passageways leading off from this area, or is it just
do.
stop right here?
You're not sure if the temple goes anywhere else, if there's other parts of the temple, but
I don't see another like passageway for off from this
Mm-mm.
room.
nope.
I want
And
to.
which way did we go? To the right?
Right or left, it
Came in
came
at-
in the
came
same
in
area.
The same area.
There's just a large stone,
She hops.
like history of this temple right in the front.
I want to score one of the symbols with my sword.
You want to walk up to one of the symbols?
And
Okay.
yeah, I want to score it if I can.
All right, so as you
Wanna
walk
read
up,
Xanathar's Guide to Everything.
you see
Interesting choice.
you see a symbol of a serpent, one of a scorpion, one of a jackal, one of a blade, and one of in the center is a many-headed snake.
Okay. A jackal, a scorpion.
Yeah, sorry, a jackal, a scorpion, a blade, and a many-headed snake. So there's like a serpent where it looks like kind of like a. I want you to roll history. See if you remember, because you may not remember, but your character might. Might, because you were in a temple.
D20.
Yeah.
13. Let's see.
13.
This is history.
Yeah.
Yeah. 13.
Okay, so with the 13, you remember that the people that you're hunting have, like, Shadia was the serpent.
Yeah. That's
You
what I was
remember
gonna
that
say.
even on her arm,
Mhm.
tattooed, like right on there was the serpent. All of her men had like
And
serpents.
who was the person that we were going after that was in the city? What was he?
Let's see.
Was he the Jackal? I don't remember. Didn't we know? Did we know?
Were we after?
You weren't quite sure, but you knew that Hakor was.
Hakor.
You knew that he was in the city. He's the basically the general of the armies of the Yanti. But you weren't sure if any of the others were here. But it was it's the main capital, so it's likely that the others are here too. You just happened to catch one on the outside. She was not expecting that. And I wasn't either. I was expecting you to run. So it worked out great. I even threw a dragon at you guys and failed that too.
We destroyed
You
it.
sure did. And I've compensated now. Anyway, so as you start to look at these things, you start to like remember. Interesting enough that the same symbols of these people. That you knew at least a couple of them, but now you know all of them. But as you look at the serpent one, it's been like cracked.
Oh,
Is it the only one that's been
It's the
cracked?
only one that's been cracked.
And how many are there?
There's 5 total. 4 now.
Oh. We haven't done enough. We need to do some more killing.
More kraken.
I love me some Kraken.
Yes. Woo!
Anyway, so you
You're
were going to
sneaky.
score one of them.
Yeah.
Describe how you're doing it.
So I'm taking out my demon longsword, and I'm taking it, and like I'm gonna swing at it and try to gouge, basically.
Gouge the
Specifically,
symbol.
which one are you hitting? There's the scorpion, the jackal, the blade, or the many-headed snake in the center.
I guess I would go for.
Go for the blade.
Sounds dangerous. Yes.
Okay.
Blade.
So just as you are about to hit the blade,
I'm guessing he's the general that's in Minerva.
just as you're about to hit the blade, you hear a gasp from behind you. Does it draw your attention, or do you follow through?
I guess it draws my attention. Yeah.
Okay, so just as you're about to hit, you hear a gasp from behind you, and you see Odeon kind of like stepping forward a little bit. And he kind of like looks. He realizes you look at him, and he just goes like this. Like, no, don't do that.
Why?
And it is then that you hear a familiar laugh somewhere in here. It is the laugh of Ammonius.
Who's that? Is that the first?
He's like their big.
He's
they
their
hate
leader.
him.
Yeah.
He was basically their torturer, their captor, their.
And what was he?
You never knew.
Probably the Jackal.
Seems about right.
I'm just guessing.
I know. But anyway,
That's why I said probably.
so he steps out from somewhere. You can't you can hear steps, but you can't see him anywhere. And then you hear another voice, kind of like chuckle a little bit as well, and this one's darker and like a deeper voice. And then you hear Ammonius say out, it says, "Well, you managed to get this far. You happened to kill poor Shadia, and now you're in our most sacred temple. How you found it, I'm not sure, and how you managed to get in here without our... Well, I'm sure you'll meet her soon enough. But no matter. you won't make it out of here alive, and it's interesting that you die here. Where's your brother? And then you hear the other one laugh, and he says, "Well, we met you a long time ago. I don't know if you remember me." And you just
Can
hear
I
the
hear
other one
this?
laugh. Yeah.
Can everyone hear this?
Yes.
Oh.
But it's that deep voice, and you do remember a deep voice now that you're thinking about it. Back in the when you had that like party where they were like invited the gladiators up to feast with them, when they all shut the doors and just pinned you basically and threatened you. But one of the voices was like of this like deep. If you remember, he had like this like red like velvet like really nice garb on, but he was also like dressed up very military. So you hear two voices that you remember from the party, but they're both laughing. And then the Hakor was his name. He's looking around at all of you, but you can't see him. But you can hear this like it's almost like he's coming from all directions. Same thing with Ammonius, but
So there's only two voices?
yeah, you only hear two voices. But they don't seem worried at all that there's 15, 16, 17, 18 of you.
Well, of course not. That's such a small amount.
But they say you will all pay for what you've done for entering. It's this sacrilege that you've put on our temple, but more so that you think that you can try to take our city. He said, but you won't be able to find out what happens to them. And then it's as if everything goes black, but I want you all to roll a Constitution saving throw.
And then what do I add? This in the
Up
box?
there at the top of the box.
saving throw?
Yes.
17.
Constitution, you said?
Yeah.
Eat.
Huh?
Eat.
8?
No.
Okay, so as they start to laugh, you hear just this like intense like building of like this buzzing sound, and everyone but you is okay. Like literally everyone but you. It's almost like they're targeting you specifically, and you're probably just fuming angry because he even mentioned your brother.
Right.
But you take okay, so you take 6 like psychic damage, and
It could have been worse.
it could have been.
Yeah. Nobody starts off with their ultimate.
No, definitely. It probably would be a good move.
Rather than monologuing and then
Change
like,
my strategy. Well, I don't monologue. If you know me, most of my characters die, and you guys don't even know what they were doing. The bad guys, I don't.
Because we're like, kill.
No, no. And I believe that
Off
why
we go.
why would they do it unless there was something real personal about it? And this is real personal to
Right.
him.
Like in The Incredibles, which I've seen a billion times. You got me in a monologue.
yeah.
Oh,
All right,
I'm so glad we've moved on from that movie.
The lights seem to have like the day itself seems to have dimmed, almost like something was put over the top of the temple, and I would,
Was something put over the top of the temple?
well, you can see. All right, and at this moment, you hear screams from some of the men, and you try to look around as fast as you can, but there's a few already lying dead, and you're not sure where it came from.
The ones that are blindfolded?
Yes.
Did you remember that they were blindfolded?
Yeah. Yeah, the ones that are blindfolded. You don't see what's.
We're not for some reason.
You don't see. You don't see
Because-
what's. You don't see what's killed. A few of them. There's 2 left standing that were there. There was 5 total that were blindfolded. The rest are archers that are surrounding it.
Maybe if we squint our eyes like this.
Just like, if I don't see you.
While this is happening, by the way, I want to get out of Pelafwe and put it on.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I fall asleep then.
We are inside, so.
And it's dark-ish?
Okay, so you see
You
him.
said it dark.
Yeah.
So that's
So you
Okay.
see him
that's
doing
actually
that.
what I was waiting
And
for.
as soon as you start putting it on, Odeon looks over. He just immediately starts like getting his stuff out of the bag and putting it on. You all
And
put on
Kalali,
yours.
Is she with us too?
Yeah, Kalali's with you. she's just like, what have I got myself into?
I look
Which
at
is
her and I
everyone
say,
that comes to our group, pretty much.
So
Yeah,
she puts
yeah.
on hers too.
She puts on hers as well.
Okay.
And I want you all roll stealth.
With advantage.
Yes.
Oh, good. I was trying to get a natural 20, but I
Okay,
got a 2 instead. But
The first one was a natural 1 for Odeon. The second one was an 18.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, good thing we did that.
19 plus 6.
21 for me.
Okay, so as the men start to die, which were like right in front of you, and you didn't see what killed them, but I would like you to roll perception now that you are hidden.
Can I 2?
If you'd like to try to.
9. I can see so
17
much.
plus 5.
Oh
man.
wow, these dice are amazing tonight.
And mine are too.
I hope the monsters don't do that.
My digital dice are not cutting the cheese.
Well, feel free to roll these ones as well.
It's fine.
Okay,
I'll
so as this whole situation's
It's because you
unfolding
don't
in front
have
of
the
you,
right app.
I couldn't spend all night looking for the right app. I'm sorry.
so as this all is unfolding in front of you, who rolled the highest?
I did. 17 plus 5.
17 plus 5, that's right.
I'm not going to do the math right now. I don't know.
Something high.
I'm tired.
You see that it was
22?
their own
You
blades.
said you weren't gonna do it.
I'm guessing. Is that right?
You see that it was their own blades that
Killed them?
That killed them.
They killed themselves.
They killed themselves.
They were so scared.
Something.
Alas, I followed my own blade.
The other two hadn't noticed, but they like shook their heads and they start looking at their comrades that just stabbed themselves. And the prince says, "Shield your minds!" And they all start to like chant something. It almost as if a cadence that has nothing to do with magic, but they're focusing on what they're saying. It's in a different language, but it's clearly something they had practiced, but they weren't ready for at this moment. But now the ones that they're chanting something. Even all the men up in the sides are all chanting the same thing.
Okay, so now that I've noticed that they killed themselves, what else do I notice? Do I notice like blood going like it came from like dripping off in a different direction, or?
Like the streams of the dead, are they going somewhere? No, they're just
Well, I
pooling
mean
beneath them.
like that someone like took the sword and
Oh no one
so it
seemed
was
to.
them.
Yeah.
I don't see any movement around.
And
That
with
was
the
a
chanting,
pretty
the whole place
hard-
seems a lot more eerie, even though it's from your own men that are trying to like protect their own minds by like not letting something in. But you hear Ammonius laughing over it, just that annoying like cackle he almost has.
He's the jackal.
So, as you start like looking around, you don't see anything that's determining where they are at, but you hear a couple shouts, different parts, and then someone stumbles over, like around the side of the corner and like grabbing onto like the pillar, and you see it's one of the archers, and he just falls over, and as he's falling, he starts to shatter.
And where is he in relation
And
to where
he
we're
is
standing?
okay. So if it's a circle and you're at the bottom of the circle,
I'm not quite at the bottom.
So think of it
I'm
like a clock.
Midway.
think of it like
down.
a clock. You're at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
This would be at about 1 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
So
Is there anything near him?
there's just pillars all the way around. You can't see everything because of the pillars, but something over there turned him into stone.
And we're
Okay.
basically like invisible. Wait, what did you roll on Sil?
19, I think.
Oh, okay.
It was pretty high.
Okay, good.
Or 21. It was 21. I'm gonna actually pick up one of the bigger pieces of stone that I can find, and I'm gonna swing it around the outside of the pillars with my ring.
The pillar, like the pillar where it was.
Just the pillars, because this is like a circular.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna pick it up and I'm gonna.
Oh, so
whiz
you're gonna
I'm
send it
I'm gonna
around the
whiz it
room?
around the yeah.
Okay, I need you to roll perception how accurate you are with that.
Natural 20.
Sweet. It is when it reaches about 1 o'clock of the room, you hear a loud shriek, and then something hitting the ground over there.
All right, it's dead.
Well,
Is it invisible?
no.
Can you
Oh,
see it?
You can't see it because it fell behind the pillars,
Oh,
but
okay.
he hit something with a rock over there.
Okay, I want to.
And it is then that the prince shouts orders for all of his archers to train on that area.
Oh,
Do I need to roll damage on that?
No, I'm just going to add the damage.
Okay.
so I'm gonna move up the stair really slowly and quietly because I'm stealthy. And but I'm gonna go up kind of like more like by like 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Hiding for your life, Shayla.
So some
Thanks
of
for
the
reminding me that I want to watch that before I go to
you get
bed.
up right next to one of the archers who's just like shaking, and you just see it like it's almost like clattering against the stone as he's just like trying to hold still, and like he's trying to look, but at the same time he's terrified to look. And he said, "That was my brother," and he just like looks back at you, and he's angry. You could just see him like it's not as much fear as you think, as it's just like this rage. He's just like wanting to go after whatever it is, but he knows that it's stupid if he does.
Okay. And I just say, keep your wits about you, and you will avenge him.
And he just nods, and then
Does he?
by the way,
feel
all
a little
these
bit
men
better?
to roll persuasion.
Oh.
No.
4 plus 0.
He understands.
I don't have charisma.
He understands the sentiment, but he's not like emboldened by it
Okay.
as much as you'd like.
Because I'm not a very charismatic bitch.
You basically like cut it out. You just kill it.
Stop being a baby.
Something a baby and
I
kill
don't do words. You want a good talker?
it. Your brother probably was a good talker. Just like insult them. All right. Do you want me to try holding her for a little bit?
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
tired of holding
No, you're
her.
good.
She's just
Hand her to me. I can
around
DM
so
and hold babies.
Oh, snap.
It's in my resume.
so much. Like,
Here.
I'm in the chair super loud. You need something?
I was gonna grab one of these dinosaurs.
Here.
Here.
Grab one of these. These are
You
new.
want to see what we're going to get them with? Just distract her with some things.
These are new.
She likes new things. All right, we can get through
Actually,
this.
Those need to be
Yes.
thrown away.
All right.
Those don't
So
look
what are you
right.
doing at 4 o'clock area? Yeah, those don't look very good. Looks very gross, actually. All right. So what are you doing around the 4 o'clock area?
I have my bow trained in that spot, and I'm gonna try to see. I want to see it.
Okay. So
Wait, how did that archer see me when I was really stealthy?
He's terrified and looking
I
around.
just came right up to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So I want to be able to see.
I
it.
add a little narrative that may not make sense sometimes, but I feel like these are people.
What was I doing?
You said you
Something.
wanted to see if you could see
Yeah.
it.
So do I need to do a perception, or does my other one carry over?
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to roll perception. Yeah.
Yes. That's a 19 plus 5.
As you start to look, and I want you to also roll a wisdom saving throw as well.
7.
Okay. All right. So as you're looking, you do see like a shadow, and you just everyone is just quiet. Like after the stone of the person fell, everyone just was like, "Oh crap, we're not alone." Like there's something worse, and you hit it, and it just made that screech, and it just went quiet after that. You
Is
hear
it still laying down?
you hear like a rattlesnake type sound over in the corner.
Where it fell.
Where it fell, and as you kind of like peek around, you see like a shadow and like a dress that's like tattered and black. It looked elegant. It definitely was at one point, but it's just this tattered black robe, and you see
Yzma.
like this gray arm and like these like black nails, and as something starts to come around the side, very just like smooth, you see just snakes in like the hair.
And I let my arrow fly because I had my shadow arrow.
Okay. Also,
Oh, sorry.
no, that's good. Do
Because
that.
I was ready with it.
Yeah.
And I did a shadow arrow because her face is like towards me.
It's starting to turn right towards you, and you're just starting to see like a cheek and like the
Alright.
eye socket area.
Oh, and I should have done this before. I rolled
Oath bow.
oath bow because I remember
I-
seeing mine, and I say,
Okay.
"Swift death to those who wronged me."
But enough that they can hear
That
you.
enough you can hear. Okay, sorry. Sometimes I forget that we're like live.
That's good. That's good.
What did I roll?
Something.
I'm glad to hear it. Your oath bow is written down right there.
21,
Okay.
22,
Okay.
21.
To hit.
Yeah.
Something.
That's a hit. That's a hit.
Woot woot.
Haha.
Okay. Oh, damage.
Yes. I know. Sometimes I get so excited that I hit something.
Yes.
But it's not often
Now
I'm a
what?
player, so it's not like.
Is this a
but I get
D8?
it. Yeah, it's a D8.
Hey.
Okay, so 6 is for the arrow, and then
You roll a blindness damage.
Blind damage.
okay, so it takes an. There's bear with
Rolling
me.
into stuff.
So 6.
I don't remember all your guys' spells and stuff, so when you see something like this, and you use something
13,
I hadn't
14,
planned on
15,
like that,
16,
it's cool.
16.
Because I'm playing the monster, I'm not playing you guys. And I'm
Right.
not.
16, 17,
I try to make it
19, 20,
totally
21,
fair.
22.
It's gonna fight for its life.
Right.
All the guys are gonna fight for their lives, and they will kill you.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys always kill them because you guys have these like really interesting powers. That are, like,
31.
31 damage.
Yeah.
Woo!
And she's blind.
And
She's
she
blind
is.
until
And she's dead.
until my next turn.
Rush her.
So what does that
Right.
mean since we're not in an initiative?
Well, now we're rolling initiative because you're part of. You just
So-
attacked something.
So even if I go first in initiative, does that mean she's not blind anymore?
No,
Okay.
it goes
be a-
until I
be
would
a
say a new round.
Oh,
Like
okay.
after your next
Okay.
turn.
So
'Cause you might get-
because I'm usually first in initiative because I have
Because you
plus
have
8.
because you are alert.
'Cause I have
it's
my
a
alert
feat that you
feat.
have. Which feats are
I
amazing.
can't be surprised.
Pretty much. Alert, like you can't have someone sneak up on you at night or something.
And you're always ready.
They don't gain advantage of being hidden
Yeah,
or invisible.
they just have to do
You're
a normal
just
attack.
staring at me, aren't you?
Yeah, so like that was a
She's
loss
so
because
tired.
I had the additional from my oath bow and then the additional from the shadow
She like jumped.
because that was
into it.
psychic damage.
Okay. So
Sorry, I
again,
had to
how
keep
much
up.
was that again? It was 20.
30, 31.
31. Okay. All right. So your arrow strikes true, like right in the chest, neck area. It just goes right through it, and you hear her screech out for the first time. It sounds like a young woman. Like you just shot like a young woman, but with like a very ethereal, like creepy snake sound all of a sudden.
Ow.
Stop it! Stop it!
Oh, these hiccups, they won't go away. Okay. Okay,
Stop
so
it.
you want us to do initiatives?
Let me read this real quick. Yeah, roll initiative. So roll all your initiative while you're doing that.
Hey, I'm not gonna go
You're
first.
at the bottom of the round. That's fine. Didn't even need to worry about that.
That's
other
okay. If
thing.
I'm gonna roll a natural one, this is a good time
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
it.
that's true. That's true. You drop all of your weapons. You gotta wait around to pick them all back up.
Does natural one apply with initiative?
Probably not. I don't even know what you would do. Yeah, other than like fumble your weapon for 30 seconds.
You drop all your arrows. They just start rolling down the
What does
thing.
that make
No,
me
no,
think
no,
of
no,
where
no.
he's trying to get his sword out and he can't?
Just throws his sword.
Well, he pulls it out and then he drops it. What's that cartoon?
Um,
So Hunchback?
What?
I feel like it's Disney.
Yes.
yeah, that
yes.
sounds
Pulling out a
right. Where he
sword.
pulls out a sword.
Is it Hercules? No,
Yeah.
it's Aladdin.
No, Hercules.
Hercules.
Well, Hercules tries to put it away and misses. His Bella just throws it on the ground. So that might be what you're thinking too.
No.
But there was one where they pulled it out.
Where they pull it
Anyway.
He does when he's just during the singing part, and I know what you're saying. I haven't have to think
Yeah.
about it now.
Yeah. I
At
feel like
all,
I've
just
watched
like-
it recently, but
I feel like I did too, and I've seen a lot of movies with Henry.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So give me your initiative.
I'll text you when I remember.
All right. So
Because I'll probably in
Marin?
the middle of the night.
14.
Oh, that's what it was.
Right? Wake up. Oh, yeah.
Odeon
what happens.
was 12. Kalali was 10.
Oh, good. I don't know. Oh, I'm 9.
And what did you get?
I just told you 9.
9. 9. Inara. 9.
I usually roll really high with initiative because of my feet, but I rolled a natural 1. So what does that mean?
Well, the Medusa rolled a natural 20, but she's
Ah.
gonna have one heck of a time. I believe she gets to roll saving throw, or no? She's just blind until the next.
Oh, she does. She has the wisdom throw.
Okay.
She would have to beat your spell, right? Your 14.
This right here.
Yeah,
Okay. She has to beat your what?
14.
13.
Nice.
She's not happy about that.
Good.
So she's screeching, but she's moving quickly.
So we
From-
know that she has to look at us like
You don't
like,
know that.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
don't
okay,
know
we're
that.
just guessing.
It's just a guess.
I wonder if like she blindly looked at somebody if they would still.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering now too.
I want you to roll
Meh.
perception.
What?
I want you guys to roll perception.
My dice
12.
aren't working well for me anymore.
You notice there are 4 archers that are stone on the other side.
Newly, since she was
Not
blinded.
not since she was blinded, but it possibly happened
She's so
sometime
sleepy.
during it.
She's so sleepy. She's just hanging out.
So tired.
She just won't sleep. She just
Okay,
wants to
but it
play.
is now Weirin's turn. You see her running from one pillar to another.
What-
She's going
What direction is she going?
counterclockwise. So she's
Did she disengage
she
from
was
us?
at 1, she's going to 12. She's not no, she's just moving.
Oh, okay.
She couldn't do anything.
I'm going to run like sort of an interception.
She's searching blind for everybody.
I'm gonna go as like an interception to the pillars, so I'm gonna take like a hard
Oh,
left.
you're running towards her? Okay.
I'm gonna take a hard left, like so she's going counterclockwise. I'm gonna take a hard left.
What about, did you roll for the people?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And with my sword prepared, I'm gonna cast Shadows of Moil,
Ooh.
which I haven't used yet in this
No.
campaign.
Shadows of Moil is interesting.
What it essentially does is dim light within 10 feet of you becomes darkness, and bright light becomes dim light. You become heavily obscured, and if you're attacked, the creature takes necrotic damage.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm essentially running to intercept her, pulled my sword out, cast that over myself, and I'm running with my way too.
Nice.
So
All right,
He's
well,
invisible.
I've got to be like just like a weird little dark spot
you just
moving around.
yeah. You're pretty much invisible to her at this
Yeah.
point. Well, for
Well, she's
many
blind,
reasons.
but-
right.
Oh, I think, and is it like a cloud of like darkness? Has that been used in?
It's not Cloud of Darkness, but
No.
that is a spell where you can like basically it's a void
okay.
of all light and
This is like almost kind of like necrotic shroud.
yeah,
in a
it's,
way.
it's basically like a cloud of black just surrounding him.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
You moving to it? Oh, that was your.
I'm running to
action.
intercept. I don't know how close I am, if I'm close enough to make an attack, but
No, it's pretty far away.
I basically want to be ready for it.
Right.
That's kind of what I was going for.
Okay.
Um,
All right. So
How far is she?
she's made it to 12 o'clock.
And so how far is she from me?
You were at 4, so she's probably about like 120 feet across.
Can my bow reach that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
I mean, it's not my turn, but
I mean, maybe not 120, but you know, it's a distance.
it's a long bow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can reach that.
I think
far.
when you with a longbow, it's over a certain distance, you roll disadvantage. Is that how that works?
Yeah, and I don't think she's at that point yet.
Yeah.
Should we find out? Or are you just gonna call it?
I'm just calling it.
Sounds good.
We just got to get
Let's
through.
do
Yeah.
this.
I'm not going to be like
That's fine.
semantics. If someone wants
That's
to
fine.
care, then you know what? We're going to record the next
Yeah.
session, next campaign,
I love
and
it.
I'm going to do all the little fun stuff, and I'll be
Oh,
like,
so cute.
actually, in the thing.
Right.
So don't worry, I got you. But this time, just deal with it. Just enjoy the show. All 5 of you.
Let's do this. Okay, it's not my turn, so.
No.
No,
whose
it
turn
is.
Odion's.
It is Odion's turn. Here I am waiting like it's not. All right, so
Nice.
I know what he's doing.
Something
but
cool.
He is doing something cool. So
he turns
he's-
and blasts Laura.
Then he's dead.
I've been waiting for that the whole campaign,
Yeah.
For him to attack me.
just for him to turn on us.
I kind of have been too.
Yeah.
So, I'm not gonna lie.
There's been too much shady stuff.
Can you help me count?
Okay.
Okay, I'm doing 8d8.
Okay, so
So-
you did 1. That was 8.
Yeah, and then I did a 7. First one.
That's a 10.
But that is a 10 because there's no way it would have just been a 10.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute.
Okay, so you gotta.
Because
start
when I got
over.
a 10, I was like, hold on. Okay, here we go. Let's do it for real.
4, 9, 12, 13, 20, 27. How many rolls?
8.
Okay. 29 and 36.
36. Alright. So she takes 36 blight damage.
Nice.
He hits her with this like ray of this like greenish, blackish, just dark energy, and it courses through her as she's running from pillar to pillar, and it hits her hard. And you just see this as you're running, this like dark cloud over your head, just like you hear this like thunderous shock, and you just hear her scream out some curse that only he would understand.
Uh-huh.
All right, and now it is Kalali's turn. She's going to attempt to throw a javelin at it.
Good old
She rolls a
Kalali.
natural 1 and trips.
Kalali?
Yeah, she never has done this.
Maybe she tripped over a stone body.
She must have slipped on something, and she throws it and
Slipped on a duck.
rolls down. Unfortunately, is prone and took 2 damage. All right, that was not great.
She's
Alara, it is your turn.
Oh,
She's afraid.
okay.
Whoa, just kicking the book out from under me.
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
No, you're good. Wow, done a lot of damage already.
So she's
Yeah.
within range of my longbow?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say at this point is when your shadow thing is going to be coming off of her.
After this?
Yeah. Because
Okay.
since you already did your
Alright. That I'm going to hit her with
well, she's doing a saving throw and just did 18, so
Yeah.
either way.
She broke it either way. Yeah.
because I'm taking too long to think.
No.
No. It was
I
gonna be
don't like this. If
it
it's
was
gonna be
on your-
pressuring like this, then I'm done.
on your turn. She's doing a.
Don't
You get
pressure
15
me.
seconds.
Shh, quiet you.
That'd be an interesting way to
I
play
am
speed
going
rounds.
to.
I've done something like that before. It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's fun though.
Yeah.
You know what we've never done is with the banishing arrow. We've never done charisma saving throws. They always just banish. Because I just noticed that right there. Sorry.
How do you know?
Oh. I don't know. I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. I don't.
Ooh. Okay, I'm going to do. Is she still running?
She is.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot her with a grasping arrow, which is poisonous brambles wrap around her. She takes additional 2d6 poison, takes 2d6 slashing if she tries to move.
Okay.
So, and she'll have to do a strength check to escape. 19.
Okay,
That hit.
that's a hit.
Can she take poison damage?
I don't know. You
Do
would
I-
know. You would know at this point.
Do I add that in?
You add it in, and
Okay.
I will let you know.
Okay.
I will
But you
subtract.
probably should separate the
Um,
poison damage and save.
Okay,
it.
so
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
at
I would.
19 normal,
Normal.
with all my whatever.
Piercing damage or whatever.
Yeah. And then 8 with the poison.
Okay.
So 19 plus 8.
19 plus 8.
Oh, and that was my first attack because I have
Yeah,
bonus.
there you go.
Thanks.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I was hoping you would remember.
And then I'm
She's
going
going to town on my
to.
book. What do you think? It's scary. Eat it.
Shoot
She's trying to get the beholder.
With-
Get it. Get it.
a magic arrow,
Smacking it.
just a normal magic arrow, because I kind of want to see. Wait, what's Misty Step? Is that a bonus action or is that an action?
So most of the time it's a, I would say it's an action, but it's most of the time it's a spell. But in your case, because you're Fey ancestry, it's a cantrip for you, but it's still an action.
Oh, okay,
So you
just
have to
wanted
use
to-
it to move somewhere.
I probably don't want to get too close to her anyway.
So if you like attacked or something. or,
Okay,
like,
so I'm
and
gonna
then
with
moved,
my second attack. Ooh,
I allow them to misty step after an action if they have it.
15.
No.
And there's no other. No other.
Well, the other
Enemies.
auntie were making noises. You could always just like redirect it towards an opening or something, and hope
Yeah.
they're there.
Roll disadvantage. See if you hit something else.
No.
No. Your arrow flies off somewhere.
That's never happened.
I've never missed. Yeah, you rarely miss.
This is awful.
Falls over in a panic attack.
I'm worth nothing.
I never missed.
Um,
Okay, she's not blind anymore, everybody.
so you can't quite tell. But from the yell of the soldiers that are aiming at her, let me see how they do. Ooh. But do they hit her? Is the question. No. They
You just collectively roll for them.
for
That's usually
for
how you do
a
it.
group at a time.
Mhm.
Oh, I see.
The group
Yeah.
that just shot at her all turned to stone.
Oh crap! So we're down to what?
You can't
The
tell. at
three
this
of
point.
us.
Oh.
No, it's not
Okay.
everyone. It's
Okay.
the prince is still here. And
Where is the prince?
He's behind you guys. He's next.
Well, not behind me because I've moved.
No. But I mean, he's near Odeon.
Alright. Because we probably should keep
Okay.
him safe. 'cause if
So he
dies,
he
that's
fires
really
a shot
outright.
from his crossbow and he misses. He saw her running and doing stuff, but he missed.
Maybe we should bring her out into the out with the monster. So maybe we should turn and
Yeah, your wizard stayed behind with the
Yeah.
great render.
I think maybe we should hightail it out of here.
Okay.
Leave.
Yeah. Try to get her to come out with us. I mean, I know we're breaking initiative, so she'll be, but
She'd have a chance to retaliate.
yeah.
On that note,
Suck.
it is her turn. So you just shot at her.
I did it.
And you hit her.
I did 19 plus 8.
Okay. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. And that's as important.
20. Not a natural, but 20.
Okay. All right. You see her face. She forces you to look at her. And for a split second, you feel rigid, but you immediately look away and start moving. Like, just to get
What
out
does
of
her
her
face
sight.
look like?
Like, hideous and, like, stern looking. Not the headdress, but that idea. So, that was her
Well,
first
he didn't
action.
see.
No, because now he's going to. So that's why
I'll see her, but she won't see me.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
No.
But I'm so invisible, she wouldn't look at me.
With advantage.
Okay, good.
because you're right. You are practically. She sees your cloud coming towards her, and she.
What is that thing?
I don't, whatever, Odion, hang out down there.
This, what kind of saving throw is it again?
Constitution.
So the first one's a 13. Oops.
It's the second part of its attack. It's 2 parts.
Second one's a 19.
Okay. Same type of thing happens to you. You feel like it's trying to like get a hold of whatever is coming towards it, but it can't quite figure it out.
How close am I, by the way?
You're getting pretty close. You're within 30 feet.
Because if I'm close enough, it's got to roll a saving throw for trying to attack me.
Oh, good. What is the saving throw?
It is. Let's see. Oh, no, there is no saving throw. It just takes necrotic damage.
Oh, how much?
2d8.
Nice.
Yeah. And that's what we use it for.
All right. So as soon as it's trying to like see you and just just screams and it just
That's right, Medusa proved to play that game.
and how far away were you? You were
160
yeah.
feet.
Okay.
Isn't that what he told me? Or was it 120?
Mhm,
You said
mhm.
160, I think. How many attacks does she have? He's trying to
Okay. So
He's like, I'm done with this.
Right.
On to the new.
a black arrow suddenly shoots out from her bow. By the way,
She has a bow?
she has a bow. She has swords.
I
She
have
has
grudging
swords.
respect for that.
It hits the prince. It doesn't kill him, but it almost puts him down. Like this out of nowhere, this arrow, just intense, just huge, just launches out of the darkness and hits him.
Oh. That's
And
not good.
now it is Weiren's turn.
It's my turn.
Get her!
Yeah, I'm closing in.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, let's do this.
We do have, quite a bit of damage on her, so I guess.
Actually, what I would like to do
Cool.
is, having noticed the effect of what Ashley did, I'm gonna get cover behind a pillar to maybe avoid.
So the one behind it.
Yeah, to maybe avoid
Okay.
the next attack or whatever, and I'm going to actually cast a blindness spell on it
Okay.
because I have one.
Yay!
There's multiple ways to fight one of these, and that's definitely a good one.
Oh, was she moved?
She fired an arrow.
Yeah, but she moved. And so she has to take 2d6 slashing.
Oh. True. What do you know?
Hey! All these ways we're hurting it.
Hey, every little bit helps. You want this thing dead
And
soon.
she's still in that, so that every time she
Yeah,
tries to
she's
move.
stuck right now
she gets
within some
that.
brambles and stuff.
And so you're gonna have to do strength check to escape. And I don't know what that means, but
Yeah, she has to roll a
Do you
Constitution
need a
saving throw for the
calculator, babe?
blindness.
Yeah, thanks. I just want to see where I'm at here.
Oh yeah. So I used one of these. and I
Yeah,
used
thank you.
one of
Mark off
these.
your spells. 'Cause-
Gotta keep it fair.
Okay, do your thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I cast a blindness. She's got to beat the Constitution 14.
Okay.
Ooh.
So you cast this like brightness at her, and she immediately just like shields it over her eyes, and she's it doesn't work.
Yeah. Naturally.
And you just see her just like you cast it at her, and she just looks over at you, and you just hide. You're like, oh gosh, this thing's terrifying. I don't like things that can insta kill you.
Right.
you get your
No
foot.
kidding.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I forgive you. All right, now it is Odion's turn. I gotta see what he has. He just used his big spell, and it did a ton of damage. No!
It's a cool block. Those are new. You start playing with
I'm
those.
doing my very best.
Do you need help?
Could you hold her? I think she's probably good. Just for a minute. I
Just
dropped
kidding.
Odeon
No,
and...
I was gonna take her from you.
Oh, okay.
But she looks so happy.
She is happy. I love holding her too.
Can you
Eating
by
blocks.
Her, by her dad?
Oh.
Because now you're like her favorite over me. Probably because you're so cool.
Okay.
So cool.
Odeon yells to you,
Uh-huh.
jump. And so he looks up, you see him pointing up, and he casts Shatter on the ceiling above her.
Okay. Well, I will
And, like,
jump.
Natural 20. Nice.
Nice.
The most intense Shatter that he's ever done. A sphere of 60 feet, so it does hit her. Almost hits you. You need to make a dex saving throw, though.
Okay. Good thing that's my specialty.
3d8. 7, 4. 7, 7, 4. 7, 7 is 14, plus 4 is 18.
Wait, what?
7, 7 is 14,
Uh-huh.
plus 4 is
18.
18. Okay, my brain is like,
Yeah.
alright,
I rolled a 10.
nice. And she's stuck in place. It shows she has disadvantage on her. Yeah, she's stuck. And she tried to move.
You get 2d6.
So 2d6, 3,
7.
4, 7. Ooh. So, what happens is he casts Shatter, which is this, as you know, this extremely loud. You almost get crushed by a pillar. You dive out of the way just in time as one just lands next to you. You haven't seen so much of her bottom half other than the robe, but she's actually part snake. Sometimes she can go back and forth. But the bottom half of her gets crushed. She's totally pinned. She takes a good deal of damage. But the bad news is she's still up. But she's furious. And she can't move. This is going quite well. Either way, it is Kalali's turn. And she's trying to get
Kalali becomes stone. I'm going to be very upset.
Well, she rolled a 19 with her javelin.
Oh, good.
And so... She does 10 damage. No. That's 10 plus her...
Did you double Odeon's damage too, by the way?
I didn't.
Because he had the...
He critted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's dead.
She gets crushed entirely by the pillar. And Kalali's like, oh. You hear her
would've been
screech
great.
out one last time as she's like trying to push up with something, and then immediately just gets smashed by the pillar. Half of the temple is collapsing around her, and sadly some of the men that were nearby, but they were stone, so
Not that big a deal.
So there's no hope to save these people.
those ones definitely not.
If only we had some basilisk bio.
Right. That's what helped with the other one. Because it's the basilisk bile that brings them back. So basilisk, fun fact about basilisk, side note, they turn them to stone, and then they eat the stone. And when they're in their stomachs, they start to turn back into flesh.
But would that apply to something that
I don't
didn't
know.
become a stone? Like,
That's an experiment. to
That's
try.
that's definitely something to try out someday. Bring a vial of
If only we
basilisk.
still had some.
Everyone, bring it up the hill. Start dumping it. The king is like, oh, let's conquer again. The druid's like, oh, who stabbed me?
Blood just starts gushing
This
out
is like
of his
200
chest.
years later. Anyway, the good thing is that the Medusa is dead.
yeah.
You smushed her.
Hurrah!
Killed the Medusa.
Awesome, guys.
That's what she
Do the
gets.
dance.
I
Sadly,
gave it a little bit of a reverse Medusa.
the sad thing is, 3 archers walk down, and the prince's aide, who has a huge arrow in him, And that's it.
What? That's it. Just
That's
three.
the only ones that made it out.
Oh crap.
I rolled for them, and they all rolled crap.
That's what
So
they get
the-
for being so overconfident.
The fun thing about Medusa is you have to get within 5 of the saving throw, or you're immediately turned into stone.
Oh wow.
But if you get within the 5, you start to turn into stone.
Wow.
You guys got pretty close, some of you.
Yeah.
So I didn't want it to happen, but if it happened, then the campaign would continue on with one person,
Right.
2 people, whatever, which
Yeah.
would suck. I would have to one of you takes over Odeon, one of you takes over Kalali. I
Right.
had some backups. I didn't want it to happen though, and it didn't. But here we are.
Oh.
With the death of the Medusa, you hear
Oh, did it smash your finger?
Ammonius just furious, and you see that they're above you in the
So we can
circle.
see him now.
Yep. And I don't know if you remember, but he can cast fly.
I shoot an arrow at him.
They're on their way down, and it's 11:44 p.m.
Oh.
So
I shoot an arrow at him.
shoot an arrow at him. Go ahead.
I just wanted
Yeah.
2,
9 plus 8.
9 plus 8,
That's 17.
maybe.
There are 3 of them if it is a mess.
There's 3? I thought there was only 2.
Did you say there's 3, right? Or
There's
no, there's
2.
2. Oh,
Two
oh,
with
okay.
us.
Polo's Guide to Monsters, Yon G. There you are. You hit. Ammonius is like, ha ha ha.
And now he is now my. I'm gonna make him my sworn enemy, guys. Not maybe I shouldn't.
He better
Because
not.
if
Well,
I-
he escapes, and
yeah,
you're like, for
I'm
the
not.
rest.
I'm not going to.
He
'Cause
ran away
if he
last
ran
time.
away, then I can't do it.
He's a
so
good runner.
I'm not gonna do that. So.
But what he doesn't know is that I can also fly.
He doesn't know that. And Odeon's learned a few things. Unfortunately, he's used 2 really big spells.
Yeah.
Blight.
8.
Blight pretty much took down
8
a
damage.
huge chunk of Medusa.
Can I hit? Can I shoot again?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Or is it?
I'm gonna say no
No,
because
okay.
that was a reaction
Cheap
shot.
shot.
All right.
So,
Cheap.
so
Yeah, you're just like,
how much damage did you do to him?
8.
Okay. Ammonius. It feels good to write Ammonius minus 8. Feels great. He's not giving a speech. He's coming down, and so is Hakor at this moment.
But we probably should.
But we should style. So that's a good place to leave off. He's just coming down. You're just like,
Shoot first, ask questions later.
what strong guys,
You don't
am I
ask
right?
him any question. Isn't he the one that sent the demons and killed all the dwarf people and
It's
killed?
pretty much his fault for a lot of things.
But was it him that had pretended he was Alana?
No, that was
That was the demon.
it was a totally different thing. Just sucked that it was happening at the
But
same
wasn't
time.
him that sent the demons?
No, that was the faceless one.
No, he it was the
Because
roll.
we do the card.
It was the card. You could have been wealthy. You could have had a castle. You could have had all sorts of riches.
Oh, and Ammonius
luck.
had been there.
You got
and
your
that's
oath
how
bow.
we knew.
You got your oath book from the trickster.
I know.
Yeah.
She's like, guys, I probably should be in bed.
You're cute. Anyway, thank you for watching the replay. We're gonna start moving to once we start our new campaign, which actually isn't too far off. I would guess 2-3 episodes away from being complete, depending on what these guys do. I mean, they might go shopping, or
Discover an underwater city.
yeah, who knows what they'll do, and it might take us longer. But if it doesn't, then I can foresee about 3 or 4 episodes away from being complete. So this is like the finale. So stay tuned for next time. Will they or won't they get murdered? They're doing great so far. You guys didn't. None of you turned to stone. I mean, that's a win. I'd say that's pretty good. But thank you for watching, and yeah, we'll let you know. We'll let you know what's going on. And may your rolls always be natural ones, just not natural ones, because we actually
Unless
did
you're
great.
rolling initiative.
And unless you're a
Because it's not-
DM rolling natural ones,
That was very well said.
I think so. That's good for me.
X?
Bye. Yep.